Hey, what's going on, people?
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us for episode 15 of Retro Rewind. Where's Jeff? Where did he go?
Oh man. Oh, there he is.
Sorry. I'm running mobile today because, as Ray knows, my laptop was absconded by my dad because he's watching online the Tiger Cat beating the whoever they're playing. Who are they playing?
Montreal.
Montreal. What's the score?
Bullets.
Oh, there's Dad watching it on my laptop. So there's Dad. Wave to the internet. Wave to the internet. There you go. So
hi, Dad.
So we're using we've got two things running streaming here off his little internet at the new residence. So I may be popping in and out because I'm having some challenges here. But
right on. Well,
we
have had a month off since we've last had an episode. What have you guys been up to? Ray, yourself, what have you been doing, man?
Just really honestly spending time with the family. As you guys know, it's Thanksgiving out here in the USA not too long ago. So been eating a lot of leftovers and just Black Friday, taking advantage on some of these sales and just chilling, man. Chilling.
Fantastic. How about you, Jeff?
I've been doing the same thing. A bunch of family time. Most of the people know my parents and my mom's surgery. My parents have moved into a new residence, and so I've been doing a lot of stuff back and forth. I'm not doing any retro streams on Friday night. Nothing scheduled. Just too much going on Friday night. Too many places to wear my suit. So I may do some ad hoc unscheduled streams as time permits. But yeah, just spending doing a lot of quality family time and getting ready for the big fat guy to come and bring me lots of presents. The other fat guy.
I thought you were talking about me.
No.
Say, have you been good, Jeff?
Have not. So I don't expect the big fat guy to come get me. But we've got two great today. The first one is a fellow Canadian from just down the highway in London, Ontario. Not London, wow. England. London, Ontario, Canada. Mr. Willie Lo.
Hello. Woo. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Hey, thanks for joining us, Willie.
How are you joining us?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here. This is first time doing something like this, so I'm super excited to see how this goes.
All right. Well, welcome. Glad to have you here.
And our second guest needs no introduction, Mr. M.
The Great MM2K.
Woo. Oh, stop it. I wish I got this type of reception at home.
I just want
What's going on, folks?
Both of you for joining us today. We're going to have a great conversation, and I hope both of you guys are doing fabulous, man. How was your holiday, MM2K?
It was a lot less turkey and a lot more packing and unpacking and wife screaming and get this done, idiot type stuff. But we pretty much got most of it done today. So this is a nice palate cleanser, and I can't wait to talk about some retro gaming.
Absolutely, man. Awesome. Let me see if I can add Jeff back to the stream. He's jumping in and out. Are you there, Jeff?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
we're having some issues. So, Willie, I got two questions. One, how was your Thursday? Because that was just Thursday to us. So how was your Thursday?
It was like every other Thursday. I was working. I was enjoying the day. You know, got paid. Can't complain.
Exactly. So our first question. This is where both of you. We're going to start with Mr. Lowe. What does retro mean to you? So if I say, this is retro or this is not retro, again, gaming, movies, where's the line for you?
For me, I think retro is what you grew up with as a kid, something you fondly remember and played and enjoyed. I know there's always that concept, like, especially for gaming, they say like retro is every like 2 generations, previously and then behind. But I feel like that seems like it just makes it so big and vast. But if you say it's like something you grew up with, it's more like personable to you and it's tailored. And as we grow up and each generation has their own version of retro.
Right. Cool. I like that answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
MM2K, sir, what does retro mean to you?
Well, because I'm always the old man shaking my fist out the window. Get off my lawn.
That's me. That is me.
Yeah, hey Jeff, two peas of the same pod, brother. Retro to me means original, and I hate to spit in anyone's cornflakes, but to me, you always got to take it back where the original layer started, and then it's always great to look at the root of anything, including gaming, and see how it's grown. So when I hear retro, I hear original, the root. You know what I mean? And it's like a temple. I hate to, you know me, I'm always grandiose and over the top, but it's like a temple for those that are experiencing gaming, as great as it is decades later, to go back to and see how it all started. So that's just how I look at it.
I like that too.
Absolutely. Nostalgia is quite powerful, man. You can't package it, but you certainly can sell it.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
So starting with you, Willie Lo. Everybody here probably has no idea who you are, or let's assume they don't. What got you into what you do, man? I assume you're a collector. I see almost a museum behind you.
Yeah, I do a lot of collecting. I've as most of us growing up, we love toys and stuff we played with, and I've just held on to that as a kid. So I have we can't see it, but actually I have a whole wall full of stuff, and I have stuff in closets. But I collect everything from Transformers. I have a bunch of Ghostbuster stuff, gaming stuff, anime stuff. Pretty much anything I ever enjoyed growing up with, I've sought out and made myself collect throughout the years.
Okay, just for giggles real quick, I'm going to make you full screen. Could you tell us the helmets you have from like the left to the right real quick so people can check that out? I was digging on those helmets right before we started.
Yeah, so I have there's a Mass Effect helmet there. We've got the Kylo Ren helmet, Master Chief. I have a Doomslayer helmet, and then it's kind of covered by the logo here, but I do have a Mandalorian in the Beskar, full Beskar helmet there too.
Nice.
And then just a bunch of video game stuff and from like collector's editions and stuff in there.
That is fantastic, man. I love all that kind of stuff.
Dude, I love the glass case. Look at the glass case he has with the toys or the statues inside. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my stuff back here, gentlemen. There we go. Okay, we're back. And there's Jeff. Jeff's back.
I wanted to have it in a nice organized way. I have some lighting I have to install to make it kind of pop a bit more, but
right on. Well, it looks fantastic, man. What are the arcade cabinets you have behind you?
So these are reproduction arcades. So these are done by a company called One Up Arcade.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I was thinking of doing original ones, but they're so big, like 200-300 pounds, and moving those things. Plus, they're so expensive. So these kind of fit a little bit more better for me because I wanted a more like arcade feel. So I could have a few at a time at least. But they're good. My nephews love them. They love coming over and playing with them.
Fantastic. MM2K, what got you like hooked into gaming, man? When did you know that it was going to be something that was going to be a part of your life moving forward?
Well, I get to blame my uncle. He was the nerd, the ultra nerd of the family. He was one brother out of 5 siblings. And, he always gravitated to the other males in the family because the females didn't want to hear about Star Wars or Fist of the North Star or any of that stuff, right? So he forced us, come on, you got to watch this. This is great stuff. And we're watching fists go through animated faces and stuff like that. And we're playing ColecoVision, and we're having the time of our lives. We're seeing all of his, retro Star Wars memorabilia and things like that. And we were hooked ever since. All of my original systems, because my uncle got them the first day that they came out, they were all hand-me-downs from him. You know what I mean? But he was a major influence in the nerddom that I enjoy today.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man. I've had all kinds of conversations about about Star Wars and all that stuff. It's funny that you bring up Fist of the North Star because I'm going to display that game for the NES after a while. It's one of those ninja games I had as a kid that I wasn't very good at. But as a teenager, I beat it, and I was shocked at the ending. That's all.
I love the anime comics of Fist of the North Star. I thought he was one of my favorites. Anime.
Oh, we lost Jeff again.
He's coming in and out.
He's shaking that fist, man. Oh man. So Willie, there was a question in here from the chat. What was the first item that you started out collecting? Like, can you even remember?
So the first item that I have is actually it's a childhood item I have, and it's a very large Millennium Falcon playset. It lights up. You can open it up. You can play it, like you set your figures in there. I've had it since a kid, and I just
that.
You want me to bring it out? Do you want to see it?
Yeah,
I wanted that
share and tell
so bad. You remember the big catalogs, and I remember I used to go like the JCPenney catalogs, and I would go and look look at the toys. I used to drool over the Millennium Falcon. Oh my god!
Speaking of Star Wars, do you remember the big blaster that would hold all your figures?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you have that? Oh my god! Look at that.
Same one my uncle had. Yep.
Hey, it's a fair size. It's a very like as big as my torso.
Wow! Look at that.
Step in front of the
Yeah,
camera.
it lights up.
That is awesome.
Unfortunately, over the years, well, as you're a kid, you lose pieces and stuff, right? But
yeah. Nah, look at that.
This is the first item I remember getting for Christmas and absolutely loved it, opening it up and playing with it. And I've kept it, and now just I have probably I think 300 or 400 figures in the house of just varying items.
Wow. Nice.
That is really cool.
Nice.
Yep.
Ooh,
Jeff's back.
the OG Vader voice changing helmet.
Yes.
Wow, I remember that one.
Yeah, the closest I got was talking into a fan.
It doesn't have the same type of effect, I don't think.
No, it doesn't. Just to throw a comment out there, last night my wife and I just went and saw Ghostbusters Afterlife. Have any of you guys seen that yet?
Not yet.
Fantastic.
Definitely go see it.
Getting ready to go, and then my daughter switched it up on me, but I'm definitely probably going to see it this way.
Awesome. Definitely go see it.
I was going to say, it's not a movie that's like groundbreaking or revolutionary. It doesn't do anything like out of the box, like, but it does, like, it just hits all those right feelings.
Yes.
And
let me put it this way. It takes the lore serious. And
Yeah,
that's all I wanted it to do. So it was good for me.
It made me feel like I was a kid again, because one of the first movies I saw in theater when I was little, my mom took me to, was Ghostbusters 2. And like, I watched the first Ghostbusters 1 religiously on VHS. And then like as a kid there, she was embarrassed because as soon as the Ecto 1 started rolling out of the firehouse in Ghostbusters 2, I was on the chair just screaming. I was like, yeah, Ghostbusters. And like, that's just, freaking love it.
I think I was third or fourth grade, I think. And my dad trusted me to go see it by myself. And I remember him dropping me off. That was my first movie by myself. Like, oh, I'm a big boy now. Here's some money. Get some popcorn, drink, and I'll come get you. And it was Ghostbusters 1. Ghostbusters 1.
Now, I went and saw it, and I was born in 1980. So this was like 1985. Theater movies used to stay in the theater way longer when I was young. But so I went to a very small theater and saw it, and I was the annoying kid not paying attention. But when the library scene happened and the music started and the cards were going, I got
such a great scene.
And then that monster popped out, and I had to leave the theater. I freaked out. I was 5. I ruined somebody's time. We had to go.
Oh man, the Marshmallow guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys are looking for, if you collect figures as well too, Hasbro has a plasma series of the original Ghostbusters that you can find out there. Really well detailed. They're fantastic. They also have a line of I have one of the I have Egon's Proton Blaster, and it just turning it on and off. I walk by it and turn it on. Yeah, no, the Hasbro's been releasing a lot of great figures for that, and I would definitely recommend them.
Right on. I have a question for you, Willie, and it goes to you, MM2K, as well. Has collecting or retro gaming influenced your career decisions at all in life?
I'll let Willie take. That's a great question. Go ahead, Willie.
Just throwing me out there. I didn't get time to think. I've always tried to keep what I do for a career separate from what I enjoy. I find my mentality on that was that if you're doing it as a job, you kind of lose that lust and desire to keep going with it. Where if you enjoy it personally, just on your own in the side, you still have that love for it as your own, and you can keep keep it going and stoking that fire essentially. So it didn't do anything for my career choices. No.
Okay. Good so just to follow up, what type of content do you create?
So I'm fairly new to this, actually. I've only started this last Friday was my first year officially doing like online stuff. And
you had the big 1 year anniversary. I saw your stream and yeah, I wasn't able to chat, but I had it up for a little bit off and on when I was doing some other stuff with my family. But yeah, congratulations on the 40th anniversary. It looked like you were killing it.
Yeah, it was a great turnout, great reception. Really, it started out as I just want to finish games on my backlog, and I wanted to just keep something to keep me going with it, right? Because I have what I describe as video game ADHD. Is I see the new shiny thing, and I'm like, yep, I need that. Yeah, so I never finish my games that I keep buying, and my wife gets angry at me because she's like, "Why do you keep buying them?" So streaming's actually kind of kept me on going with that and making sure, like, hey, people are watching me do this. They want to see from beginning to end. I got to be there to keep making sure I finish it.
Right on. Yeah. How about you, MM2K?
Wow, that's really a great question. I'm going to say yes. However, I got to be careful. This is why it's so mysterious, and I got to hide behind an avatar because I do government work, and they're so crazy over there that I would have to go to our PR team and say, "Hey, I want to do YouTube content. Am I allowed to show my image and likeness and still work for you guys?" And they would tell me no. So, so I just hide under the mise of M2K. But I would say, yeah, because one of the things that I do collect, and I wish I could show you guys because I just unpacked and I got it set up nice, is I collect a lot of JRPGs or old fogies like me, the original RPGs. So I have Tales of Symphonia. I got I got so many of them, Arc the Lad and a whole bunch of other stuff, right? Sitting here, and I got all the collector's books, and I got figurines and anime toys and stuff with them. And the reason why those are so important to me is because I love RPGs are my favorite. My favorite game is an RPG. I won't get into that yet. And I would watch my older siblings play these same games, and I would get confused. I would always get lost. So I always made it a duty to buy the book that came with them, right? So I would scroll through the book, make sure I wouldn't miss a single sword, a single crystal, or a shield, or whatever. And I've kept them all intact. And it's always been that sense of detail that's been with me, like following data and watching the statistics of this sword's better than that one. And that's kind of followed me to what I do now. I do a lot of data analytics and statistical type of stuff, nerdy type of stuff that the average person looks at and say, "Oh, you nerd," they would walk by. And when you ask that question, that's why I threw Willie out there, because I really had to get my thoughts together. Like, yeah, that I've never thought of that before. Like, yes, this has shaped my decision, because if I could tell you what I do, like, I'm doing it because nobody else wanted to do it. Literally. That's how statistically cumbersome it is. So I would have to say, yeah, it's crazy.
Awesome. Awesome. Hey, SPG, you got a couple of
Yeah.
questions, one from the Climax Suave and one from your wonderful wife, Rose, Sierra Rose. You got a couple of questions.
All right. Let me see if I can track them down here. Let's see here. Willie, what do you collect more, game stuff or movie stuff?
I would say more movie cartoon stuff. I have a pretty vast collection of Transformers. Freaking love Transformers growing up and even throughout now. So I would say that is my most collected thing. Aside from, I also have a bunch of Ninja Turtles and Star Wars as well too. So yeah, probably a lot more movie, cartoon, like TV show based stuff.
Man, my parents played a Christmas from 1993 where I'm damn near doing backflips over getting Ninja Turtles for Christmas.
Nice.
It's quite embarrassing. I used to collect those, man.
Yeah, I still have a couple of those figures, as well as some of the newer ones they've released, because they did a one based off of the movie series, and then they also brought back some of the cartoon ones too. So,
and this is a question for MM2K. What got you into content creation?
Wow. My son, my youngest son, who's a bigger nerd than I am. I knew I used to write for a small publication, but then he wanted to do YouTube videos. And I'm like, son, I don't know. You know, he at the time I think he was like 8, something like that. I'm like, I don't know, son. Because he was real big into Minecraft. I said, let me check this thing out. And I checked it out. And I liked it. And I said, well, let daddy do it first, and then I'll let you know how it is. And then the rest is history. So something that I hijacked from my son because I really wasn't that in tune to YouTube, and something that just grew on me because I used to do MySpace. Like, I'm really getting into it. Like, you know, when you used to build your MySpace page and put in the code and add the music to it when people went on and all that other stuff. So we did something like that back in the day. And then when that dissolved, I kind of was like, you know, just writing for different little publications. And then came across this YouTube thing, man. And I can't let it go.
Right on. I would like to take just a second and introduce another special guest who just happened to be able to pop in and to make an exciting appearance. Project Storm, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, what is
Hello.
up? What is
Hey,
going
Storm,
on?
what's going on?
What is
Project
up, panel?
Storm.
Everybody in the building, what's up, man? Willie Lo. I came on here for Willie Lo, man, to see if I can get my setup like his. That's the only reason. And to hang out with the fellas and the chat. What's going on, everybody? What's
nice to
going
meet
on?
you.
What's going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah, you too, man. Great setup in the background. Yo,
Thank you.
see, hey, let me say this, man, real quick, y'all. First of all, thanks for the invite. Second of all, Sierra Rose is out there. The chat is just, man, that's what really motivated me to do this right now, because my in-laws are out there. They're getting ready to leave. I didn't make it up to Pennsylvania for Thanksgiving at my mother-in-law's house or whatever. So I asked them to come on down, and we spent a little bit of time together. So I didn't think I could make it initially, right? So I'm happy to be here, man. Let's talk some retro gaming. That's all that matters.
Well, let's ask him the same questions that we asked our wonderful guest, Jeff.
Okay, cool. So Project Storm, nice to see you as always, or actually not.
Oh
see
yeah.
you. And
yeah.
you guys all know my opinions on that, but we won't go there.
Yeah,
What does retro mean to you?
All right. So retro to me means it's like the foundation, man. If you think like MM put the temple, so I'm not gonna steal his ideas, but I'm gonna bite off of it a little bit. The foundation, right? If you're thinking about a house that's built from the bottom to the top, man, like the foundation is everything all the nostalgia, Atari 2600, man, ColecoVision, all of that, Neo Geo and all those consoles, right? Sega Genesis and all that. They are the foundation that got us to where we are today. So if you think about it, like before we could get this lavish house or whatever, the structure or whatever, the temple, so to speak, we had to come. So I'm stumbling for words because I'm thinking about how I started, man. When you take me back to Atari, like Pac-Man on the Atari 2600, Kaboom, so many different games that was on that system, bro. And there was like peripherals that you never could imagine, like that still hasn't even come out today, like the controller that you could use on Atari to catch things on Kaboom. And I think I'm the only person that knows about Kaboom right now on the panel. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking about stuff like that got us to where we are today, where you're talking about cloud gaming and high level PC gaming, all that stuff, man. It all started from the back in the day, like Atari 2600 and up, man. So that's the foundation to me.
Is Kaboom the one where they were dropping the bombs from the top and you would catch them?
Yeah, man. Yep. You catch it. They had a specific controller that you can had like this little and Ray should know what I'm talking about. Ray should
I do. That's why I was gonna follow up. You know, I mean, they even dude, it's like he looks like the Hamburglar with a little hat, and he drops stuff. You know, I remember playing it, going over my friend's house and playing on the Atari 2600.
Yeah, man, it was amazing. It was amazing. So that's what I think about when I think of foundation. I mean, retro. I think about going way back. Like the 360, in my opinion, might not make retro. You know, you got to go back before that. You know, it has to be those Nintendo systems and those Sega systems and all that. So I'm excited, man. We're gonna be doing a lot of. It's gonna be fun. I could tell already, man. It's gonna be fun.
So to catch you up on the last question, has retro or your gaming history influenced your career decisions or your content creation decisions?
Well, I'll say this right now. That's a tricky question because I think of retro. I always pay respects to the retro, right? And then, you know, as I'm gaming today and I'm looking at content creators, like I've been in the chat of this show. I put like some stealth likes several times on the show, just listening to you guys talk, right? So I appreciate that aspect. But as far as like, you know, the collections and things like that, I haven't, you know, it didn't really influence my decision, I don't think, as far as content creation goes and stuff like that, or collecting, which I don't really collect too much. Because I like to move on. And I know somebody mentioned collecting, and that's why I'm going down that rabbit hole. But as you know, I just haven't. I'm always like, okay, I want gaming to evolve. But again, it's very important to go back to the retro aspect, because if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have what we have today, man. So that's a no, I guess, for the content creation part. It did not really inspire me to do it.
Right on, man. We also mentioned Ghostbusters Afterlife and 8-Bit Christmas. If you haven't seen those, definitely check them out because they're pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Boom. Absolutely. So what consoles did you guys have? I think the only one that I personally never owned was the Neo Geo, because you had to be like filthy rich almost to have it.
I tried to go half on a roommate, man, but then we decided, well, who would get it if we ever moved or split? And I was like, well, me, of course.
Who wants to lug around those big carts? Those things are massive.
Yeah,
they are massive.
Yeah.
But what I find interesting is that now in the cloud gaming era, where we have all these advantages to playing these modern games, way back in the day, if you had the coin, somebody could wake up in the morning, play a game on their Neo Geo, put their save state card in, save their game, go walk to school, and on the way, stop at the arcade and keep playing their game. The exact same game.
Yep. Ahead of its time.
Yeah, that blows my mind.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to enjoy any of that, but somewhere on the planet somebody was.
Yeah, I was a huge SNK fan, dude. I loved a lot of SNK games.
Yeah, was it
Card Warriors 1942, 43?
Oh, man.
King of Fighters?
King of Fighters, Fatal Fury.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Metal, was it the Metal Slug stuff on there too, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, that was the game.
Piece de resistance.
Yes. Yes.
That was one of those beautifully artistic games, you know, that really showed itself off.
Got a question. Willie Lo, what is the rarest find in your collection?
Good question. I want to know that too.
I don't honestly know.
Is it that what's behind you? Because I've been at my eyes been looking at what's been behind you.
There's a lot of stuff behind me, Ray. What are you talking about?
What's the robot? The
Diva statue?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a pretty good one too. I actually got that off of a friend, who was getting rid of it, so I didn't have to pay full price for that one, thankfully.
Nice.
That was ahead of its time too. Great shout, Cloud Validation.
I got so many things. Console wise, I still have like an Inbox TurboGrafx 16. I've got Inbox like Super Nintendo.
I never had a TurboGrafx either.
No, I love the TurboGrafx. Turbo was fantastic. Like you had Bonk on there, and
just to show you what Project Storm was talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, I put a link in the
boom.
Yo, amazing classic.
Now you were saying they made a special joystick just to play Kaboom with?
Yes, it was black with the orange button on the side, man, that you could press.
Dragster.
It was amazing. When I tell you something, like it was one of those games that's simple. All you had to do is turn the dial from right to left to catch these bombs and everything before they explode. And it was just so simple, but so amazing at the same time. Never seen anything like it. I probably put hundreds of hours into that game, man, like easily, nonstop. I'm talking about nonstop hours into Kaboom. It's crazy. And that's why it's always interesting to get on here and listen to you all give your take on retro gaming and all that stuff. Again, we all know each other now. Pretty much the majority of the panel in the chat know each other from the cloud. But man, look, like going back to this stuff right here is just, that's what I mean. You can't, this is otherworldly. Like you can't even sum it up. Like I know you guys should be passionate every show when you get on this microphone and you go live on these retro rewinds, man. I know that you all feel it. If you don't feel the adrenaline, we might have to huddle up.
Well, you talking about Kaboom is how I feel about me and my cousin used to play River Raid.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Sir. And I remember like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, just playing that. Missile Command.
Yep.
Missile Command. I played that in the arcade a lot.
I played that maybe a couple of months ago.
Asteroids.
Asteroids. That game was like, come on, spinning around and
yeah, bro.
Yeah.
With a thruster.
Here's a good question. What is one retro game that you were excited to play, but when you finally got the chance, it just made you mad?
You guys already know what about. I told you.
I'll tell you. Hey, Ray, what's yours? Because you know I'm going ET, man.
Well,
for Atari?
Yeah. ET would have to be like, I mean, the commercial got you. If you guys remember the ET commercial when they were hyping it up at Christmas, and my friend, I didn't get it, but I knew a friend that got it, and I ran to his house and we played, and we was like, what the hell was this? What did we just, maybe if we play it again, maybe it'll change up or something. And it was horrible. But no, my game was in Pro, me and Pro, you know, we have a disagreement, but it was Friday the 13th NES.
I think that was a good game.
It was a horrible game. And it's one of the most, and if you Google it, it's one of the most hardest games. But that was my game. I remember saving up, cutting a whole bunch of grass because I used to charge $5 to cut people's grass and save some money to go buy the video game. I remember getting it, putting it in, and I was like, I don't get it. So, but I did promise I will go back and try and play it again.
Yeah, it depends on how you approach that question. Like I thought of more of what frustrated you. And I'm gonna tell you, well, the one game that I played that I didn't like that I thought would be dope was I think it was Superman NES. There was a version of Superman. Yeah. That was trash. And I almost got my ass handed as I stole it from my friend's brother. And my friend came over the house and he was like, hold on. What are you doing with that? And it had his brother's name on the back. And he's like, and the brother was real nice about it. He was like 7 years my senior, but he said, just give me my damn NES thing. And I said, woo, that wasn't worth it. Here you go. You can have it. But another one that frustrated me though, but I enjoyed the game was Uncle Fester's Quest. I don't know if y'all remember that from the.
I remember that.
Yeah,
he had the gun that would shoot like this and stuff. He had a bunch of
yes. I love that game, but it was so damn hard.
Yes, it was
to maneuver through that it just frustrated the hell out of me.
And a lot of backtracking too.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. That. One that frustrated me, but I was able to figure it out later. I was just too young for it. Was Blaster Master because the mechanics.
Oh yeah.
I love Blaster Master.
Classic.
Yeah.
Going
I
back
loved
to
it
it, it's
later.
good.
That was
As a
ahead of
kid,
another
though.
game that was ahead of its time. Vehicle,
was.
get out, get back.
Yeah, get out of the vehicle.
Side
Yeah.
scrolling. It was
Exploring.
Yeah. Awesome.
Absolutely. How about a title for you, Willie Lo, that you really wanted to play, and then when you finally got to it, you were like, eh.
I have two games that I think of. Both are kind of like, I don't know, like they're still retro in consideration, but one was Quest 64 for the Nintendo 64. I was super excited for that game because growing up, I was huge on JRPGs and just role-playing games in general, and that game was just absolute garbage. I was so disappointed, and it was one of the first games I got for my Nintendo 64, and that really kind of bummed me out with that too. The other one would be Devil May Cry 2.
Ooh. Yeah. I know a bunch of people are let down to that one.
Ooh, wow. Didn't see that coming.
No. How about you, Project Storm?
Well, for me, it was ET. Like
ET.
that's the one.
That's right.
Yeah. That is the, like, it takes the crown by itself, man. ET.
Well, there's a landfill dedicated to it.
Because I was so disappointed, man. I was so hurt. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe. I was excited because, you know, we watched the movie and everything, and, you know, you just, like, the movie was classic. It made me tear up a little bit. But
And like Ray said, they put a lot of, in the commercial, they put a lot of production value into it. It made you really expect something, you know?
So I just thought it was going to be special, and it was a dud. So we'll leave it right there.
Yep. Agree.
Right on. What's up, Jeff? You're back, sir. How are you?
Welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah. What can I tell you? When the game is over, Ray, let me know when the game's over. I'll switch over to my laptop and we're good. I have a question for Willie. If he can talk a little bit. I first heard about Willie and got in watching his stream from his charity stream that he did for the local children's hospital. And I happen to know the president of the hospital foundation, Scott. And I guess I saw some tweets from him, and that's when I first. You want to talk a little bit about that? Because you know we're all big on charity here, and don't forget Tuesday is what we call Giving Tuesday around the world. So Monday you got Cyber Monday, so Tuesday is Giving Tuesday, where we encourage everyone to donate.
Wait a minute, you're confusing me. So Thanksgiving is Thursday, and then there's a Giving Tuesday. Wait a minute, what's going on, Jeff?
Giving Tuesday was something that created a few years ago because everyone had Cyber Monday. So, and everyone's spending all their money. Well, we created Giving Tuesday in order to help everyone give back to their local charities. So, because of that, Tuesday coming up, wanted to talk Willie to talk a little bit about his charity stream. It was quite successful, from what I remember.
So I started streaming November last year, and I decided to do a charity stream in February. We ran for 24 hours, so I just played games for 24 hours. I got in contact with a bunch of other streamers. In 24 hours, we were able to raise just short of $2,200, which was pretty good. I feel like, anyways. But it was a lot of fun. It was the first charity stream that I was ever part of and arranged and got going with, and it was a whole lot of fun. And it went for a great cause because kids need help. Kids are suffering around the world, and sometimes they're kind of forgotten by a lot of people. We kind of neglect things, and especially with everything going on. They are suffering a lot more than a lot of people like to think, right? So
I got to give a shout. Hold on, giving shout outs. I got to give a shout out to my boy John Scar, who's also Canadian, and this Stadia streamers. We had not just certain charity, but we had multiple charities, and I know I think MM2K did a charity. Cancer?
Kidney, not National Kidney Foundation.
Kidney Foundation. Okay. And then I think my son has epilepsy, so I did, which I only wanted $100 and ended up doing double that. But we did. I think we did over what, 5K?
Yeah.
Total, yeah.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So shout out to all those streamers and shout out to John Scar. Awesome dude.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody that participated in that, and thank you, Willie, for doing charity as well, man. It is definitely very important in this time, man, because a lot of people need help.
Yes.
So we were just discussing some ninja games. So what's your guys' favorite ninja games? If you have one, I've got a few lined up that I would like to show you.
Come on, I got the all-time best ninja game, but I'll let someone go before me.
You gotta tell me the name of it, though, Ray.
Come on, ninja. Come on. There's only one. What was the first?
Is there 3 of them?
And I ain't talking about Shinobi.
Oh, that's what I was
not talking about Shinobi. But Shinobi do get respect, but I'm talking about Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, that would be the first one I played. I think my favorite ninja game, though, is a little weird one, which would be Legend of the Mystical Ninja, which was on the Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, yeah.
Yeah, Karate Champ was good too.
Ooh,
Kung Fu. Do you remember Kung Fu?
Of course.
Where you they had horrible sound effects. Hiya, hiya, hiya.
Well, no, his jump. Did you remember the jump that he did?
What if you go what about a futuristic ninja like Strider?
Ooh, that
was old.
I love
Strider's good.
Strider at the arc. There was a laundromat that had arcade machines in it, and that's how I heard about Strider. And I used to just eat up quarters in that game because I thought that sword was just the sword movement was
that
probably
sound it makes too, like the tinging sound, like you're like, oh,
yeah,
so good.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna take it back a little further. This isn't necessarily a ninja game. Well, it kind of is, but the main protagonist wasn't a ninja. Osagi Ojimbo for the Commodore 64. So I don't know. A lot of people got a chance to play that, but yeah, that was one of the first games that I ever played. That and River City Ransom, but that's a whole different story.
River City.
River City's so good.
Yeah, River City's great.
Okay.
Great shout.
Does anybody else have a ninja game? Because I'm about to bring up a couple to show us. So.
I'm going with one of the oldest Ninja Turtles games, man. That's what I'm going with.
Dude, I thought he was going to say Tenchu. I thought Project was going to say Tenchu.
Hey, you know what? I thought about it.
I thought he was going to say Tenchu.
I had to remember the dates and everything. So, but Tenchu was definitely one of mine. I could tell you right now. Like that game.
The OG From Software games.
Yeah, man. You got to love it. You had to love it. So
now,
but yeah, one of the Ninja Turtles games, we played the hell out of that. My cousin and I,
Dan Bloom. Cough, I think maybe I'm getting his name wrong. Let's talk about Dragon's Lair, the most groundbreaking game back in the day.
I agree.
I literally paid somebody. I gave them the 75 cents or whatever it was to watch them play through the entire thing because they could from start to finish with one quarter or whatever, one deposit. But all right, let me bring this up real quick, and I'll get.
Right, let's see if I played.
Nah.
Yeah,
you brought up Fist of the North Star. Okay, so for NES,
there we go.
For NES now, I really like this game, and my brothers, we because it's one of those games you can jump into and start fighting, and get right into the game. But we finally beat the game, and I'm going to show you the ending, and it hurt my feelings like so bad because we really like the game. So all right, here's the game, some gameplay real quick. It's standard, for the day. You had special moves. You could
crush your head.
You could collect icons.
Is that their heads exploding when they hit them?
Yeah. That's what in the comic book, in the anime, that's what it used to do.
Now, see, today they would say that's missing frames, But all right, so it's just a basic, left to right scroller, and you beat people up. Well. So the whole game, you're making up a story in your head because there's no cutscenes and there's no dialogue or nothing. So at the end of the game, here's the last boss. Watch this. I beat this and I jumped up and said yes, and then saw this.
Game over.
Yeah.
Oh. That makes the Mass Effect endings look like Walk in Heaven.
Yeah, make it like an Alfred Hitchcock ending,
Like, sure you didn't hit a button? Did you accidentally hit a button or something?
That's the end, bro.
That can't be it.
Game over. It's the same when you die. Okay.
Damn.
They should have just put Sorry Sucker up there.
Yeah, exactly.
No doubt. Now here's a boss one though. And this one is actually Anthony's favorite.
Oh God, I remember
I forgot about that one. Yeah.
This is so fun. So fun. So fun.
This one
man,
was
'cause
tough
you can-
too. I remember this one. Yep.
Yep, because you can jump into the game really quickly, but it's vertical.
Oh,
Like
my God.
it's so cool, man. Check this out. They'll start running around and leaping and stuff, and we'll be right with you, chat. Let's see.
They have another one of these on. Was it on Genesis?
Yeah. Oh, I remember
Yeah,
this
it's
one.
vertical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want a remake of something like this, man.
With the and there was
Where it's
like little crystal balls and stuff you could get that make you more powerful.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep, there they go. I think. Yep.
it's like a crouching tiger, hidden dragon, kind of, but 8-bit.
Yeah.
You know, I loved it.
You know, there's a game called Monster Boy where you kind of
Oh, yeah.
scroll
Oh,
through
yeah.
trees.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that.
Oh, I forgot about this one. This was a good one. This was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
This is the one that we could slap the cartridge in and get right to some awesome gameplay.
Exactly.
Really quick. Yeah. Never completed it though. It's one of those ones that was
Yeah.
hard once you.
Yeah,
you
it
know.
was real tough. Yeah. Yep.
So much fun though. So much fun.
Wow. That's how if you look at the old martial art movies, man, they used to jump from the trees and do all kinds of stuff like that. And yeah.
And here's what Ray was just talking about.
Yes.
Now this was a game ahead of its time, I think, for the cutscenes alone and the story.
My mother got me this for Christmas, and I remember like, oh,
like look.
Apparently,
since
this
when did you
scene
have
was
something
actually
cinematic?
one of the first ways they used like almost like a fake 3D transition by layering like a layer faster ahead of the other, and then like slower movement behind it to get that kind of like weird 3D perspective.
The cinematic scenes were awesome.
Oh man, Mike Tyson's Punch Out is a classic. I can play that anytime. Just turn it on.
One thing we often say is don't look at these older games with today's eyes.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, tell my son that. Tell my son
That's
that. He's so disrespectful.
Try to play a lot of older games with my nephews, and they lose interest like pretty quickly. They're like, "Yeah, that's cool. Gonna go play Fortnite now."
Yeah. Oh my God, my son's having Halo parties right now, driving me crazy. I can't even get to play the game.
Halo Infinite's multiplayer is so good.
Now this game was complicated. It would anger you a little bit. Not the early levels necessarily, but some of those jumps where the birds or whatever would fly at you. I remember it being aggravating.
Well, you know, if you look at Batman 1989, I mean, it's damn near this, almost
pretty
like,
much the
wait
same.
a minute, it's the same.
That Batman game was so good too.
It was hard, but yes, it was great.
Now here's the second one. Now, if you remember, all three of these came out on Nintendo, the NES, and then they were re-released all together on the Super Nintendo.
Yes.
Through they put all three Nintendo games in a Super Nintendo game. And that's where I tried to beat them all. And I got stuck on the third one.
I remember
Oh my God. You want to talk about rage? I think this was like the first time where I just wanted to throw my Nintendo.
It is one of those unforgiving level designs. And this is like the predecessor to Shikiro or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Xbox Ninja Gaiden games were pretty tough too. The first one was really
they were extremely tough.
Yeah, the remakes you're saying?
Not even remakes.
They're like they're a whole new, like they went back to the series. Yeah, they're not like a remake of the older ones.
Yeah,
but they were fantastic.
Or reimagining or whatever.
Yeah,
you were a first or a third person, if I'm remembering correctly, right?
Yep.
Yeah. No more side scrolling. This is the one that I never could complete. The Ancient Ship of Doom. I think they created this one just to anger people. I don't know. I was not good at this one, man. But there's a few of my ninja games anyway that I've really enjoyed.
Let's see which ones. I know Shinobi in there.
Shinobi's really good.
Talking Shinobi Sega Master System.
Yep.
It's been a while since they did a Shinobi game though. It was the last one on PS2, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's something interesting. Let me pop this on real quick. The Master System versus Shinobi on the Genesis is what
I
this
played it
was.
on the Genesis.
Yeah.
I have to be honest. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Master System.
Right on. I never owned it.
I never owned it. I had a friend that had it, and then I had a roommate that had it. But he introduced me to Fire Pro G on his Master System.
Oh, it looks like the Genesis.
That's the wrestling series, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I got all the Fire Pros.
Do any of you guys remember Rastin? Such a good game.
On the,
with an awesome
oh my
soundtrack.
God.
On the Nintendo? Yeah, it was on the NES, right?
Yeah.
I believe that's what he's referring to. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pull up Rastin. Okay, I'll do that. Remove that. Let me see if Jeff is back.
I'm back.
Jeff is back.
As soon as the game is over, I can switch to my laptop.
Right on, Jeff. Oh man.
So, quick question for our three guests. When it comes to retro, console only or emulation is okay? I'm a retro console only guy. Now, I have played Pie Packer. I will full disclosure, I have played Pie Packer.
What did you think of it?
I love it. It's great. I've played it a few times. I had to play it. I've been spending a bunch of time at my parents' house, and they have like 9 megabit internet. So I've had to streaming some games with OBS just doesn't cut it. So I've done some stuff with Pie Packer. Full disclosure, but generally I'm a console guy. But guests, what do you guys think? MM2K, we'll start there.
Yeah. I mean, I've used emulation just because some of the harder RPG games that I couldn't like before. I remember I was crazy when I first got my PSP. I only got the PSP for the emulation because I wanted to play Ark the Lad, and I had a special copy coming from Japan. I spent a good penny on, and I'm just weird like that I didn't want to play it anywhere else until I got that copy in. And
PSP there.
Yeah, yep. And I used the emulation on the PSP. Just to sink my teeth into it a little bit. But if opposite of access, temporary access, I'm more of when it comes to retro, just because it's original, I'm more of a dedicated device type of guy when it comes to that.
Storm, what do you think?
Hey Jeff, first of all, you asked some. These are some great questions, man. I mean it. I mean it, Jeff. So I'm going console, man, because you don't get that experience of blowing in an NES cartridge with the emulator. You don't get the experience of putting using a black and white TV and connecting one of those retro consoles with the little Y splitter connectors that you had to screw on the back of the TV. You don't get that stuff with the emulator. So I feel like I would have been robbed of the experience if I didn't have those native console, those hardware related experiences, man. So hell of a question.
My last retro one of my last retro streams, I was actually at my parents' house, and I actually plugged my PlayStation 2 into their old TV, and then I set up a camera to point at the television. So I was actually playing on the old television, and I was streaming it through my 4K camera to the television. But again, my parents have really, because why do my 90-year-old parents need good internet? So it failed miserably, and I ended up having to revert to StreamYards and kind of halfway, quarter of the way through, I had to kind of switch it up a little bit. But that may bring that TV home if I can find a home for it.
Well, I will put it this
way.
way.
Willie, what was your thought? I interrupted you on that.
Go ahead, Willie.
For me personally, I would prefer to have like the console, the physical version. But I understand at a point, as we're going on, a lot of these games are starting to become harder and harder to find. And I think keeping them and like emulation is going to be able to provide them to keep like the historical accuracy of them so that we can have access to them, years down the road. So I think emulation is very important in that sense, because there's going to be a point where we're not going to be able to find the original cards of these games, and emulation and playing them like digitally will be the only way to play these games.
Yeah.
Well, just look at the Neo Geo in general. Who's going to spend $2,000 for King of Fighters and $2,000 for a component out or HDMI out Neo Geo, modified Neo Geo? Now, a lot of people will do that. But for me to play King of Fighters or some Metal Slug, which I think is fantastic, I'll just emulate it. I mean,
man, look, get you the minis, man. You know, they got the Super Nintendo Mini, they got the NES Minis. I know meet way in the between, in the middle.
Yeah, you can soft mod those pretty easily as well too, and just have like a little emulation box you just plug into your TV with a HDMI out.
I did that with my my Nintendo NES Mini, which, oh my god, so many games, so many good games.
Yeah, what do you guys think about the way that the actual collecting market is going? We've talked about on a few episodes, like the $1 million Mario game that they like to advertise as just such an amazing sale, and then you look into it and find out that multiple people own it, and the auction house isn't so reputable, and all these things, man. You being a collector specifically, Willie, do you see this affecting you in any way, or the average person?
Honestly, it has. As I said, I used to be a really avid, like, I have to have the cart and everything. Before the stream, we talked about how a good friend of mine, he worked on the documentary Nintendo Quest, which I was part on. I helped out with a bit of that. And we were really big at the time where we would go out and we would collect everything and have it all. But now, with everything being digital, it doesn't really click with me and have sense that why do I have the carts now and I can just have it, all here. And the prices have just been so, like, they're skyrocketing because they're so hard to find now. And it's just getting hard for the average person to be able to go back and collect all these retro titles.
Yeah, like, it hasn't affected me because I'm not a collector, but one day I may be at a yard sale and there's a dirty box of Atari with some games in the corner, and they're going to want $1,000 for it.
You're already seeing that. You can't go to a yard sale anymore and not have somebody who's already looked up online a value of something, and they're like, well, this is going online for this, so I should be able to get this.
Right on. What do you guys think, MM and Project Storm? What do you guys think of the auction house and what's going on with the white label games and all that?
See, I'm not that familiar with it recently because I haven't looked at the market since it's been like a good decade. But yeah, if that stuff is going on, man, I mean, look, I mean, everything that's happening now, there's such an inflation of prices because of I want to call it COVID panic. You know what I mean? Like, everybody wants to grab a hold of everything and grab the can of Navy beans and hide out in the basement and just keep it all to themselves. I mean, and you're seeing more and more of that. So let some of this craziness subside a little bit, maybe. And then I would say probably in a year or so, you might start seeing some of these prices go back to what they were pre-pandemic. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame to see some of this stuff, but I think it's just par for the course right now.
Man, I would have to lean on the advice of my brother, the Stadia Revolution, aka Rev. Rev was a guest on the show. I remember checking that out as well. But man, he knows more about that stuff than me. So like man, I'm not too familiar with everything, but I am knowledgeable of it because of Rev. But I think it's crazy, man. It's outlandish and stuff with what's going on with the market in general. So, you throw the retro stuff right into it, I guess, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I used to think that anything that was behind plastic, man, was the holy grail. Anything with a signature that was behind the glass, but that's just not the way it is, actually. Because, like, if I can open that card and send it in 8 times to get graded till I get a grade I want, well, that kind of loses its value anyway,
Yeah.
But absolutely. Jeff, do you want to start this week in retro, sir?
Not yet. I'm going to wait a few more minutes until I can switch to my laptop.
Yeah, this game's almost over with for him.
Yeah, or more stable.
Okay. I mean, you have some questions in the chat.
Before we get to that, one other running question that always seems to pop up, and we and now it's just a running joke, and we bring it. What are your opinions on GoldenEye? We talk GoldenEye in every episode, so I'm just going to throw it out there now. That hasn't come up. It's been an hour, and we haven't talked GoldenEye.
Now let's add to it. So not just what do you think of GoldenEye? What do you think people's perception of it would be today? Like if they put it in the cloud so people can play the actual old Nintendo 64 game, do you think people would enjoy it? Or do you think they'd go, oh man, it's just so far away from what we play today?
I think there will be a mixture of both, man. Like you'll have some people who never touched it, like, yo, wait a minute, this is pretty cool. So good to play, because that game was highly playable, which is why I got all the accolades and stuff. It's just that's an engraved GOAT, man, greatest of all time status game right there. Like,
Yep.
So you talking about all of us combined? I'm sure we have probably over 10,000 hours combined in just that game alone. So that speaks a lot of volumes about GoldenEye itself, man. And that's a game like, Perfect Dark. And I'm just throwing Perfect Dark. It doesn't hold a candle to GoldenEye, in my opinion, but that's another classic game. You know what I mean? So I would like to see them bring that back. That's what I'm thinking right now when it comes to GoldenEye, man. But it's classic. I think people will love it, and I think they will also be like, oh, man, I want them to remaster it or remake it or something,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, they did have a remaster of GoldenEye. It was on the GameCube?
Yeah, I think it was on the game. Yep.
Yeah, I'm talking about like a proper, like you give the same house that did Shadow of the Colossus remake, something like that.
Cool.
The Demon Souls remaster for PS, for stuff like that. I would like to see, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Now we just brought up GameCube. GameCube turned 20 recently, man. Who all here on the panel has owned a GameCube?
Oh,
I'm a big Nintendo fan.
Come on,
man.
man. I got the I still have it. I got the platinum. Hold on, let me go.
Ray, why you getting that? Ray? I went to Philadelphia. My wife and I, we drove. At the time, it was only it was like a 45-minute drive. We drove to Philadelphia when we first heard about this new Nintendo system. We got up there, and it was before the world actually knew about it, man. We played Star Wars and everything. They had it on a projector screen.
Squadron.
Like they had these kiosks set up, man. It was like a club type of environment. It was amazing, bro. So from that day, we made the decision to buy the GameCube at launch, and I loved that system. Loved everything about it, man.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Dude, I come on, man. One of my favorites. I got the platinum GameCube with the Pokemon. But
I'm going to say this is going to be. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ray. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's
Eternal Darkness. Oh no, he did
Come
not
on.
pull that out, bro.
Eternal.
Now, if there's a game that needs to be brought back,
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Hey,
Yeah.
Willie, man, listen. People and so many people, I guarantee you half the chat, if not 75% of the chat, maybe have never touched that game. That game right there, man. I talk about it on every show I do today, just about, man. Eternal Darkness. Anytime somebody starts talking about what game would you like to see remade, is that. But go ahead. I know we're gonna be talking over each other a lot on this panel. I could tell, man, because this is lit.
Dude, I was jumping up for joy at the flea market when I got this, man. Oh my god.
Go ahead, Project. I'm going to
Sorry,
bring
man.
something up as you're talking.
Yeah, I want to say,
Or MM.
I think that the best console to go back to for the current generation is the GameCube. I like that pick. Is the GameCube. Like, if you think if there's any console that I think would get appreciation, it definitely would be the GameCube. There's Eternal Darkness. There's just a variety of games on there. I'm looking at one of my favorite top 5 RPGs of all time, Baten Kaitos. That was exclusive to there. And for those that don't remember that game, that was a card-based, kind of, I don't want to say card-based, but the way the powers worked, it was a card-based, turn-based card-style RPG. Nothing like it. I've never seen it. And I've damn well touched every single RPG that I could get my hands on. It was a great machine. And I think what kind of hamstrung the GameCube for people beyond us that fell in love with it is, I think, was the controls. Like, that was the era of the L3 and the R3, you know what I mean? It was giving you more robust controls, and the GameCube didn't have that. So as you were getting to your AAA multiplats, your NBA 2Ks or whatever the hell, or NBA Lives, people were finding it more complicated to do moves on there than they were the other systems. And those are the games that won the day. But I think if you bring that system back, you will definitely increase the appreciation that people have for retro games, because there was some Tales of Destiny. Man, let me shut up. I'm done.
Hey man, it's hard, man. It's hard. Like it's hard to shut up. Like I'm thinking about the Wavebird right now. Like just think about that's one of the greatest controllers of all time, and I'm sure you all have covered this on multiple shows. I'm sure
one of the best functioning wireless controllers, hands down.
Oh my gosh! I agree. Like the buttons felt so, and they were so original. Like the B, the A, the X, the Y, and then you had the C stick, the yellow, yellow stick that was kind of skinny, and you couldn't get. I had a hard time getting used to it at first, but then I got used to it, and it was great, man. And I don't know what the start and select buttons are anymore. I don't even know.
Dude, let's talk about the mini CD.
Well, hold up.
Man.
The GameCube was ahead of its time in another area, man. You could go in and pick your color, bro.
Oh yeah, yes you could, and you can add that expansion pack and all that stuff too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I did. I did.
Yeah, me too.
And how about the first console to really merge the mobile and dedicated, like right there in your living room, functionality with you take your Game Boy Advance and you can use that as a controller?
Yes.
Was it Final Fantasy Crystals?
Yes.
Yeah, the Crystal Chronicles.
Animal Crossing. Animal
Crossing.
Animal Crossing. Yeah.
Yep. As a matter of fact, what made me buy a GameCube, let me show you a little game that you all are going to recognize, guaranteed. We've even talked about it before. Now, this is on the PS1.
Resident Evil.
This is on the PS1. But I just
you know how much it bugs me that they don't do that in the newer games?
Now, do you see?
I have to do it myself.
Right.
Every time I see that logo and I don't hear it, I'm like, Resident Evil.
Right.
That is a great dub, man.
Right.
Hey, really, they should get you to do that.
No doubt, man. But
Capcom, you watching?
Though.
I can do it.
So you see the polygons and stuff.
Yep.
Now this is what made me buy a GameCube. I loved this game on the PlayStation, and then a few years later they came out with this, man, and it was completely different for the GameCube. They knocked it out of the park with graphics. This made me think that the GameCube was ahead of the curve, like it was next gen compared to everything that was on the market.
It was to me.
Yeah, so check this out.
And then they had the even the off ones too, like Resident Evil 0 was exclusive on there too.
Yep.
They had 4. They also did the Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, which got this treatment as well too.
But the game
you can argue
changed.
Twin Snakes wasn't as good as the original Metal Gear Solid, either or, but it was still great to play, I found. But
now that is remarkable, night and day compared to what was on on the PS1. So I fell in love with the GameCube, and I actually liked some of the more kiddie games too, like Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion's so good,
bro. Come on,
Luigi's Mansion was still. I found that still scary. I don't know about you guys, but some of those encounters were still.
It was nerve wracking. Yeah, definitely. The bigger ghost, and you had to. Yep.
I went to Walmart at midnight to pick up WWE. Let's talk about they had some awesome wrestling games on the GameCube. Excuse me. Oh my god. What was it? Daylight something. It was I forgot, but it was awesome. And I remember they had the WrestleMania game on the GameCube.
Like what, WrestleMania 20XX or something?
I think so. Yeah. It had Hulk Hogan, and it had Diesel, it had Razor Ramon, those guys. And I think it was pretty awesome.
So I didn't play a lot of the wrestling stuff on the GameCube, but would you say they were better than the N64 ones? Because everyone still kind of touts as N64 wrestling games were like the peak.
N64, No Mercy was the peak. Yes, okay. I agree with that.
Yeah, I still boot that up and still play that.
I same here.
So good.
Yeah, 20 years, man. I can't believe it.
So good.
Are you on the laptop, Jeff?
I am back. I am on the laptop.
All right.
Good.
Let's
Now
bring it up.
Hey, hold up. I'm gonna bring you up solo for just a second, Ray. Share all those titles you were just showing, man.
You tell which ones? The GameCube or the wrestling?
Yeah, all the ones you were just showing. If you got them next to you,
yeah.
it was hard to see. You were a smaller box, so.
All right, I'll just show real quick. Just something that I grabbed. Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yep.
All right, Lord of the Rings, GameCube.
Yeah. Yep. Oh man, that was
Okay.
a good one.
I was very come on, dude. You had
Oh
Yeah,
man.
man.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Michael Vick. This one,
Michael
Michael Vick.
Vick. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. You guys are into The Simpsons, Road
Oh,
Rage,
yeah.
Yep.
and
Didn't
then
they have a hit and run
may he
also?
rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, had that. That was dope.
And
I forgot about the courtside
come on,
series.
man. You can't forget Mello.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that was one of the best ones. That's the best live ever.
Exactly. And then I was really into The Sims back in the day, especially busting out. But also let's talk about, you had one of the great Star Wars games on the GameCube as well.
Yes, sir.
So
Oh,
yeah.
which one was that? I
I think it's
forgot.
Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
Rogue Squadron on the 64, and then they continued the series onto the GameCube. Those were some fun
Yes.
games, man.
Damn it, I might just play that, man. Good lord. I might have to play some Rogue Squadron when I get off.
But I remember popping that that extra port thing into the 64,
Yeah.
just for that little bit of extra, like 2 megabytes
Expansion
more.
pack. That's
It made a little difference.
It did.
Did.
It did, man.
But yeah, those are some of my and I have like a crap load of other games over here, but I love the GameCube. And yes, I did have my Game Boy Advance. I used to connect it. My wife used to play Animal Crossing on it, and yeah.
If I could interject. Go ahead, Willie. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say there's also that Zelda one too. Zelda and the
Oh God, did we
Oh
forget?
yeah, I forgot about the
Man.
other game.
Four Swords or whatever.
Let me tell you that Fist of the North Star. The reason that ending was so horrible to me. 2 weeks before that, I finally beat Zelda. So you beat Zelda, and you're like, "Oh man, I've been on a long campaign. I saved the princess. And then
You're setting up
Fist
Fist of the North Star to fail with Zelda there. Like that's a high bar to put that game up to.
Wow.
I have to say this. I took a hiatus from gaming for a while because of work. And a lot of people look at me strange when I say this to them, but I really didn't get a chance besides like GoldenEye and Super, I think was it not Super Mario Sunshine, but one of the Super Mario games that was on the N64. I really didn't get a lot of experience on the N64. But what brought me back into gaming was the GameCube. It was so simplistic. It was cheaper. You know what I mean? When maybe not the games, go finding the games all the time, but it was cheaper. And it was so simplistic. And I actually, in that time, because I had stayed away from gaming, I wasn't big on first-person shooters. I wasn't big on them. I thought the whole concept was stupid. I'm an old fogey. You can't see everything on the screen at once. What the hell is this? Right? And the game that changed that for me was Ghost Recon on the GameCube. When I played that game, it made it so easy for me to get into first-person shooters. I fell in love ever since. So that's why the GameCube is really, in my whole gamer portfolio, is very special to me.
Awesome.
Oh man, yeah. I've never. I'm bringing the game up real quick just to show, because I haven't seen this one. This is one of the ones that. Is this the one?
There we go.
It is.
Yeah, this is shooters started really coming back in this era of like the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. On top of this, you had like, of course, Halo for the Xbox.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Rainbow Six made a really big comeback because they had the voice commands and stuff you could do.
Yeah, for the headset.
Open frag and clear. Yeah.
That was important, man. That really
was.
Yeah, man.
That was pivotal. Yep.
It was.
Because before that time, I'm glad you brought that up. The old fogies like myself, I was nervous about going online, right?
Mhm.
And my brother was my roommate at the time. So he finally, for years, he was trying to get me into first person shooters. And I said, oh man, that's stupid. You can't see everything on the screen. So finally, I'm into it. And what made us go online was Rainbow Six because of those commands.
Such a great game.
Yep.
Absolutely, man. And then when they allowed you to play with up to 4 people and be mic'd up, and hey, I'm breaching the
Yes,
wall. Like,
yeah.
oh
man,
dude, that brought it to the next level, man.
A lot of that, well, started spanning out there, but Xbox Live definitely pushed a lot of that
It
for
did.
getting people
It did.
online, right?
Yeah.
Like that was the big thing for consoles. Now they're getting up there with PC. You get online play.
When
Yep.
when they did the Xbox 360 launch, they had people lined up to sign up for Xbox Live, and that's like how I came up with Ray 3473. And I was like, oh, what am I going to call myself online? And so, but yeah, that was, man. They throw some launch parties, folks. They
Yep.
some really nice launch parties. They go all
Oh yeah,
out.
Ray's been to one. You
Yeah.
on a couple episodes ago, you shared a picture of you and was it the 360?
Yeah, me and Kevin, he called me up and he says, "Hey, Xbox is having a contest to go to their 360 launch party. If I win, I take you. You win, you take me. I won, I took him. We got the
Nice.
bands. We had to go to the Mojave Desert. The theme was
man.
the theme like Men in Black. They all had seats with shades and they surrounded this airplane hangar.
Yep.
And then you guys saw when they opened up the doors, it was just like, oh my God, it was Xbox 360s and flat screen TVs. 3 days. And we slept inside. We would find somewhere to sleep on the bean bags that they gave us, and we would sleep. But we drank so many energy drinks. I probably through those 3 days, I probably slept maybe 3 hours.
Yeah.
Probably stretched your bladder too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think the awesome game was Gears of War. So
Yeah, that was a big one.
They had Cliff B, the guy who designed or made that game up.
Cliffy B.
Yeah, it was like, oh my God.
And people ask, they say, how did Xbox lose $11 billion over 2 generations? That's how. They flew Ray and everyone out to the Mojave. But see, those were the good old days, man. They didn't give a damn. They it was the fight for the living room. And, they first saw how big, devices and stuff would be. And they said, the hell with it. We will go broke to do whatever we can to get in that living room.
Well, that's something that they definitely did. They made all kinds of money, and I know they made a lot of profits, but they also reinvested that into their infrastructure like a lot.
Oh yeah,
I mean, they were tripling down for the long haul, and that's why they're prominent.
And it's paid off for them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. They had their ups and downs, though, folks.
Every company does, though, right?
I just think everybody was with Nintendo. Everybody brought this stuff to Nintendo first. Sony.
And they said no.
We got our own ideas. Even the TurboGrafx 16.
Yeah.
I find that amazing. So Jeff, you ready for This Week in Retro, sir? Oh, you're muted, sir.
You're muted.
I was born ready. Sorry, my dad was talking before he left for dinner, so I had to mute myself. All right, so for the guests and for people watching who don't know, every week or every 2 weeks, I put together This Week in Retro, sort of what happened on a particular day and what game was released in a particular era. I throw up the Neo Geo. Sometimes it's Linux, sometimes it's mainframe. It just depends on what strikes my fancy. So November 28th, 2002, and if none of you think this is retro, then that's fine too. James Bond.
I got it. I remember getting that game. Nightfire.
Nightfire.
Is that the one
This
that
one
had like
the
multiplayer with the grappling hook?
Oh, I don't know about the multiplayer with the grappling. This had a lot of.
No, I think that was Golden Finger. I think it was. Was there a Golden Finger game? Or?
Let's see here.
I think there was something. Maybe it was the one that was Agent Under Fire. Does that sound right? Is another
Yeah,
game?
that sounds.
Yeah,
right.
that's the one you're talking. Yeah, that's one, Willie. I just don't know. I played these games, but it just didn't have the same feel for me
As GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
I mean, they were fun. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It just wasn't GoldenEye.
I think
me
the
put
thing
it
with
this way.
GoldenEye too is it was kind of a product of its time, right? It was kind of ahead. There was no other games doing it. You had that 4-player split screen going.
Right.
Now, I don't even know if this one had the multiplayer. That should tell you how little I played this one compared to GoldenEye. I remember beating all the GoldenEye missions and then loving hanging out till wee hours of the morning playing with 3 friends.
Yeah.
And whenever you knew Nintendo meant business, when right in the front facing you was, hey, you better get some friends because there's 3 other ports here.
Right.
Even the smoke, remember the bombs would go off and you could see the smoke animation. And I mean, just like, wow.
Yeah, this one is a little bit more like GoldenEye. I guess this one maybe didn't have the driving. Maybe it was the Agent Under Fire.
It was Agent Under Fire. You drove a really nice car.
Yeah, but they were kind of hard. The car missions were kind of hard.
I agree.
Isn't it a staple for James Bond? He always drives an Aston Martin, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does. Unless it's that damn submarine car or whatever. There you go, Jeff.
November 29th, 1996 for our friends at the Neo Geo Samurai Showdown 4.
Wow.
Now, this is what I was discussing earlier about the Neo Geo. Somebody could technically have played this game at home, saved it on a memory card, went to the arcade, and kept playing. Neo Geo is fantastic. Technology.
The Neo Geo stuff looked absolutely incredible, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
compared to 16-bit, absolutely. The colors, the frame rate.
Because it was essentially they just took the whole ROM from the arcade unit, and that's why those cards are so big. Is they just put it right in there. You're just usually using the ROM from the arcade.
And that price was up there too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when it was on the first on the market, like King of Fighters would have been $1,000 or $1,200.
Crazy.
And now they go up to even $2,500 or more for one arcade cartridge.
Man, are they so cool?
They are.
Yeah.
They certainly are, man. If money wasn't an option, I would have one.
Almost.
But then you got to think too, though, of what titles were on the Neo Geo. If you didn't like King of Fighters, you may run out of content.
There's another one I remember on there. Was it I want to say War of the Monsters, but basically it was like just giant monsters fighting each other, and you're like destroying buildings and stuff on there.
But Google Stadia, they gave us one of the Samurai Showdowns, which I actually enjoyed playing. It gave me a retro feel. Like it was amazing when I first checked it out. All righty, Jeff.
November 30th, 1996, Golden Nugget came out for Windows in US and Canada.
Is this golfing?
No, are any of you guys gamblers?
Come on, man. This was Texas Hold'em, the blackjack.
Yeah, I never I couldn't
yeah.
I couldn't find
I saw it. I don't remember this.
The PC version, so I had to bring up the PlayStation version here.
I remember.
I'm sure it's pretty much the same.
Las Vegas.
It's got to be blackjack and all that stuff.
Golden Nugget Casino. Don't even know if that still exists anymore.
Probably not.
Just in the back of the limo coming up from Canada. Right, I'm sorry. Coming down.
He just left the tire store.
They changed the name of this series. I forgot because I had a girlfriend at the time, and she had a serious gambling problem, and that's why she was a girlfriend at the time. We're not together now. And she played this all the time, but they changed the name of it. Oh man, it was a good game though. It was a good game.
Yeah, I think I know what you're saying. What's the main gambling game name now? What do they call it?
It's Hold'em.
No.
There's like a casino.
There's a lot of casino sites.
Well, there's one where you get your your bracelet. It's got all the Texas guy, all the Texas Hold'em guys on it.
The World Series of Poker.
Yeah.
World Series
That's
of
it.
Poker. That's one of them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the other one, but it was the Hoyle Casino ones is the ones I remember.
Yes,
Hoyle.
yeah, those are
Yeah.
those are popular too.
Mm-hmm. Bomberman 64 for the Nintendo 64 on December 1st, 1997.
Did any of you guys ever do any multiplayer with Bomberman?
Man,
I didn't.
No, I didn't either.
not.
I wasn't a big Bomber 64 guy.
Me
I'm
either.
still not a Bomberman fan.
There's one on 360
Believe it or
that had a lot of fun with playing online. But yeah, I don't remember playing this one.
Yeah, I don't. Looks interesting though. Looks
Party
like it's
poker.
different than.
Yeah, that's right, Ninja.
Yeah, they tried to eventually get Bomberman to like more fleshed out, almost like a Mega Man style.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, because this looks way different. The one on Stadia is just you just fight each other,
Typical,
blow up
yeah.
blocks and stuff. This looks like it's more than that. Like a proper full game, you know?
Like a platformer. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Interesting.
Is he gonna throw the bomb at the dinosaur that's
I don't
flying
know.
over him? Like,
Waiting for him to lay. I don't know.
Looks like he's waiting for him to get closer.
oh my goodness!
Say the
Dragon
polygons
just
make it hard to figure out what's going
Bring
on.
your fire.
For a Bomberman, he can't really throw it very far.
No.
Right.
He ain't got no arms.
Yeah, he's got those little stubby things. I guess. That's fair. Ray. Okay, we'll give it to him. Poor guy.
Oh, you're gonna get him this time. Hey, that is incredible. We can't look at these games with today's eyes, though, as Jeff says.
That's true.
And then, of course, then the next day, Quake.
There you
out
go.
for the
Now,
Saturn.
I had to Quake for the Saturn.
Yeah, boy.
Actually,
So I didn't have it for the
Wait,
Saturn. And
Now,
for PC.
Quake may have came to consoles on the Sega Saturn, and they may have even done it justice. But there's nothing like playing a LAN party with all your
Yep.
boys and their giant PCs and having a giant party at your place.
Yeah.
We used to do that a ton with Quake. Quake 3 Arena was our big thing, and then Unreal Tournament.
Ooh.
Oh,
Unreal Tournament was awesome.
so good.
Yeah, absolutely. LAN parties were fantastic, man. But
Mhm.
you don't see that nowadays, where 4 people get out of a van carrying a tower.
No, man.
Got your big
going to
CRT
play.
monitors. You're breaking your back
No,
to
we
bring
used
down the
to-
stairs.
We used to do that with the original Xbox. We would load
Yeah.
up-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you could do that with that too.
Oh my god. Playing we had Halo parties.
Now,
Yep. Every Thanksgiving. Speaking of Thanksgiving, have it every Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So those of you that have fond memories of the original Halo, how does the new one hold up? Is it still just as fun to throw a sticky bomb on people's heads and stuff?
I've been really enjoying the multiplayer.
I'm enjoying
Me
it, man.
too.
It actually, when I'm playing it, it brings back memories of, and Kevin, he's in the chat, because I used to go over to his house, we used to go over to a friend's house, and we used to do Halo Monday night. And the wives or girlfriends would be kind of pissed off when you guys are leaving, and we would just play
Yep.
on through the night.
Same, man. We would do the system link and all that stuff, man. We run long Ethernet cables from the apartment living room to the back bedrooms and everything, and just go at it. But
go ahead.
the performance of the game, man, on that Halo Infinite multiplayer. At first, I was like, "Oh, this is Halo 5, man, rescan and all that." But that's before I knew weapons were on the wall and you had the grappling hook and everything, all these different abilities and stuff, man. And I played on PC, I played it on xCloud, I played it everywhere, and it's dope, man. So Halo 1, it didn't really have multiplayer like that until later on. Then I think they threw it in on PC or something. But man, this is a whole different type of beast right here. This Halo.
Yeah, honestly, 343's kind of rekindled a lot of their trust with me for this, and I'm hoping Infinite, like the single player, is going to be good, because I really didn't care much for Halo 4 or 5.
Well,
I agree.
I played a lot of Five Gardens. Yeah,
my first experience with Halo was the texture of the mud and the tires of the Warthog when it would burn out. That left such an impression on me.
Yep.
I used to piss off my friend. I would throw a sticky bomb just to stick on their head, and then I would
look like their head's on fire.
I did that to Kevin. Tell you, I used to like throw a sticky bomb at his head and then go run, and he would chase me because he would try and blow me up.
Right.
with him.
with them. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, this Quake looks just like Doom.
Yep.
Very similar, yeah.
Yeah. But it got way different though on the higher end PCs the later they went on, like Quake 3. And it literally turned into a legit arena, you know, like almost kind of like what Doom Eternal is, except there's no demons, there's just the people playing, you know.
Yeah.
Kinda
Yeah,
like
the story behind for the Quake stuff is there's the Strogg, which they're like augmented machine humans that are basically trying to take over and mechanize everybody.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking about looking at this, right? Like if they didn't educate us on like anti-aliasing and 30 FPS versus 60 and all that stuff, man, I'm looking at this right now, and the first thing I see is, oh, damn, it's not even 60 FPS, and there's jaggies everywhere. Like if I wasn't educated on that stuff, then
Bro,
I
I
wouldn't
used
know.
to get sick though. If you played too long,
Yeah,
in some games.
I got dizzy. I got sick. I remember throwing up on my
and that's
futon.
why. That's
Dude.
why.
Yeah.
One of them shooting games, I think House of the Dead. That thing
Yeah,
would make
yeah,
me so
man.
sick. I like shooting the zombies and it was fun, but if I sat and played for 2 straight hours, I'd get white. I'd start
Yeah.
sweating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what would get me?
yeah.
What would get me is Castlevania with the Mode 7 on Super
Oh,
Nintendo,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Mode 7,
yeah.
that new
Oh.
technology. See, that's what
Yeah.
I'm a technology guy. So when they introduced it, I was like, Mode 7. Me and my boy Travis would scream out Mode 7 all the time. Mode 7, there it is. You know what I mean? It's amazing, man. That's why I'm like I am today. 4K, 60 out and all that stuff. 8K, and you know, that's why I am like I am now from back then.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, something that hooked me was the Mario 64. When I first played that, I saw how they took Mario and put it in a 3D world, and I thought, oh man, I can't wait till they do this with all the games. And sure enough, they did, or they started to.
Yep.
You know?
Man, you gotta love it.
All right, Jeff.
Zork. Let's see, is that the
Where are
bottom?
we? December
Batman
3rd,
Forever.
1996. Batman for. Did I missed one?
No,
Nope, nope, you're right. You're good.
Batman
You're good.
Forever. Yep, I was reading off my other list.
Batman for never.
This is for my son and Ray, 2 big Batman fans.
I love Batman. I don't think I played this one though. This
Come
one
on,
was-
man.
I did.
Batman
Yep,
Forever.
I
Come on,
remember it.
man.
Yes,
The
sir.
motorcycles. Love the
Yeah, I
motor.
remember it. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Had
Reminds
the
me of
Joker,
that
had the
spot-
Penguin. I meant.
that
Yeah.
Yeah.
Superman beat 'em up
Yeah.
that I really liked. The death and life of Superman, or whatever it was called.
Oh yeah, the Death and Return of Superman
Yeah, Death and
on the
Return.
Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
so
really
good.
like that one. It
Just so
reminded me
you
of
guys know, man,
Spider-Man beat 'em up.
where would video games be without the beat 'em ups, man? Okay.
Oh, it's true. Yeah,
Speaking
and beat 'em
of
ups are
that,
still doing really well.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask what
Scott Pilgrim.
what did you guys put the most quarters in as a kid in the arcade? I think the
Oh,
most
God.
arcade game
Good
that
question.
ate the most of my quarters was Double Dragon, just because there's 2 or 3 glitch spots where it's a quarter stealer. I beat it as an adult and found out the game's 15 minutes long if you kick butt.
I was into the hopping on the motorcycle or driving the vehicles.
Yep.
But I love Mortal Kombat, the original,
Yeah.
and Mortal Kombat 2. I just lost my mind. Like,
Yeah, that was a good one.
I was like, we used to fight. Hey, I got next. No, you're not. No.
Remember the quarters lined up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
reserving
Yo,
their
man.
place.
People did-
Oh,
Hey,
that was amazing.
They didn't in Oakland. They didn't respect that.
Well, look,
They
bro,
didn't care about no quarter or who's up, man. Get off the game. I got next.
Say that's
nah,
my turn. I just put my money in.
nah,
my
they
turn.
respected it. They respected it on the East Coast, man. And I tell you,
Yeah.
between Pac-Man, it was Pac-Man and Moonwalker, Michael Jackson Moonwalker. for
Oh
me.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yep.
Yeah, I've never
Uh,
played this Batman, but it looks like a decent beat 'em up.
Probably the 2 games I spent the most on in arcades would be Marvel vs. Capcom 2
Nice.
That's a good one.
and Daytona USA.
Oh,
Daytona?
my God. I was
Daytona
in
was
Mexico.
so good.
I
Yeah.
was in Mexico on a trip, and they had Daytona USA, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, you get 4 people sitting beside each other. You're just driving around, and you're like,
Had
oh,
a good time. Had a
I
good
was-
time playing.
I was drawn to some of the weird arcade machines. Like there's an old time traveler one where you're a cowboy. It's almost like Dragon's Lair, but it's
Yeah, I know
all
which one you're
3D.
talking about. Mhm.
yeah, those are the kind of ones that I gravitated towards, and most of them were a gimmick, so they take your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I really like Tron as well. There was a multi thing of games on one arcade box.
Yeah, if I had to go with a third, I'd go with Galaga.
Well, bro, you know,
Galaga,
I might have to get on my my ROMs, man, and
this one looks good, don't it?
It's all right, yeah.
Just,
Like what's that? If you guys can help me, what's that Spider-Man? Is it Maximum Carnage? That's like this, but really good.
Yeah. You got Carnage, you got Venom, and you got Spider-Man.
Yeah,
but I also like the X-Men. I was a huge X-Men.
That X-Men arcade cabinet was wicked too, because you had like had the double screens in it. It was so big and like so loud. You're like, oh, this is awesome.
Hey, Willie, you've got a couple of the 1-Up arcades behind you. What are your thoughts on the Ninja Turtles arcade cabinet that's coming out?
The one I have here?
Seen or heard anything? Oh, you've got it.
It's got it, dude.
Woo! What do you think of it?
I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Ninja Turtles was great in the arcades back in the day.
Yes.
It's a nice cabinet. It is, because they're a little bit smaller. They're only like 5 feet, where traditional cabinets were like 6 feet, a little bit wider. It gets a little crammed if you're trying to get 4 players in there, but otherwise, Ninja, I really like
Ninja,
it.
Go Ninja!
Go. Oh, Vanilla Ice.
Hey, Space Ace was really good too. They had a few different games on one cabinet too.
But I like it.
Like little mini games.
I think they do a good job. And if anybody's like, for me, I was saying earlier is that I wanted that arcade aesthetic in my basement, and reasonably, it's not reasonable for me to spend thousands of dollars per arcade cabinet to try to get them down here. Plus, lugging around a 200-300 pound unit up and downstairs. So
1-Up does
this works better for me.
1-Up does a really good job on their art. Their box, their cabinet art that I've noticed anyway. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, they try to do the best they can to make it look like the original arcade units. So
now, one more question on that. Did they add April O'Neil as a playable character in that, or is that a different? Is that another like remake? Or
there is a new turtle game coming that she's going to be playable in. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's due out soon though, or early next year.
They got Jones, the hockey dude with the
Casey Jones.
Casey Jones, yeah.
Heck yeah. All right, Jeff.
Willie, you said you have a TurboGrafx 16. Did you ever play Loom, which came out in 1992?
No.
Well, this is Loom for the TurboGrafx.
I played a lot of Bonks, Keith's Courage,
Bonks, was
Blazing Lasers.
Lucasfilm.
They made a crap ton of quality content.
I had a roommate that worked there.
Do you guys have any favorite Lucasfilm game?
Super Star Wars on the Super Nintendo was fantastic.
Rebel Assault.
Rebel Assault. I would have to say Monkey Island.
The Secret of Monkey Island. Yeah.
Yes, those are weird games, but really enjoyable.
They did a Indiana Jones series that was similar to that as well too.
What I was going to say.
Really good.
Yes.
Yep.
My favorite is Armed and Dangerous. That was on the OG Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That's the one with
with
the duck and
the shark gun or whatever, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, that's still one of my favorite weapons ever in a game. Like just shooting a gun out and a shark comes out anywhere and just
yeah. Oh man.
So good.
Yep.
Spy Hunter. That was a good one too. Yeah, I really enjoyed they're talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I loved the first one for Nintendo. Really hard, but it was kind of ahead of its time. The way you could swap characters on the fly and all that stuff. It was really, really cool. But all right, so this is Loom. It's actually looks really advanced than I thought it would.
Is that the Loom behind them?
What the hell? I mean, like, I'm like, what the hell's a loom? What the hell's a loom?
Isn't a loom like it's a tool they use to make blankets and stuff out of wool and that?
Oh.
My assuming is just seeing that area back there. They're doing like the Sisters of Fate, where they have a loom behind them and the threads that will decide your fate in the world and stuff. That's what that makes me think of.
Definitely.
wasn't there a movie with Angela Jolie and
Yes.
Morgan Freeman?
Yep.
My God, what was
Where they
it?
do the same thing with the threads of fate and
Yeah.
Oh, it had that weird shooting stuff.
yeah, the bullet bending or whatever.
Yeah, they could
Start with
bend the
an
bullets.
I. Starts with an I. I thought. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
I can't remember the movie. I know what you're talking about.
I remember that movie being cool. The hell
Yes.
was it?
I just love seeing Morgan Freeman get popped in his head, and he looks.
If Kevin is in the chat, he'll know exactly what movie we're talking about. Angelina Jolie and they curve
Was
their
it
bullets.
Salt? Salt is when she was by herself.
Right.
Yeah, that had what's his face in it?
Something Wanted. Was it Something
Oh.
Wanted?
It's
Yes,
one.
Wanted.
It's wanted.
Yeah, Wanted.
That is the
Yeah.
name.
Was it Wanted?
Yeah,
It's
that's
Wanted.
it. That's it. Yeah,
Ding, ding,
Killed
ding,
it.
ding, ding, ding. All right.
that is it.
All right, now this next one, Jeff, I think is a special one, man.
You think so?
I think so.
All right. Everybody
Classic.
knows I'm a big Leisure Suit Larry fan. I've played it on my Retro After Dark streams, maybe because it reminds me a lot of me in school. Leisure Suit Jeffy, I don't know, but Leisure Suit Larry.
Those old Sierra games.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the Windows Germany version, but still fun to put it out there. You don't have
Yeah,
you don't
and
have a
this
video. You don't want to get taken down. All right, fine.
And this is
If it's on
exactly-
YouTube, it would be fine, wouldn't it?
That's exactly what it would have been played on too, is an old IBM.
I mean, as long as you ain't so inappropriate,
Yeah. I remember my dad had one of these games, and it always when you used to have to start it up, you'd have to have the book with it where he would hide it, but it would have the secret questions to answer stuff. So it'd be like, who was the president in 1967? And because I was 8, I was like, oh.
I got what is it? I got the Playboy Sims with Hugh Hefner.
Oh, Playboy Mansion. That was on
Yes.
the Xbox and GameCube.
Yeah, I bought that at a toy convention in San Jose, California, and I took that home. And my wife was like, "What the hell?"
It's
Say,
like
talk
Sims, but you're in the Playboy Mansion.
Talk about Marvel and retro. Any Howard the Duck fans here?
Come on,
Yeah.
I remember
Howard
the Duck. Yeah, I remember that.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. I
I watched that movie
understood-
on Netflix not long ago. It was great.
Whoa,
Oh, saucy.
whoa, Jeff.
Leisure,
I know
leisure
where you
suit
got
Jeffy.
Jeff. I know
Leisure
where you got your hairstyle from now.
Are you wearing a piece of pizza, Jeff? What are you doing? It doesn't look like
Oh,
shorts.
man.
And
Looks
that's
like pepperoni
exactly
pizza.
what happened to Jeff, man. Jeff got caught up, got tied up, took his wallet and left him there.
Oh no!
No, actually, that happened to a friend in Oakland, man. I told him to stop messing around. You're gonna get caught up. And that actually happened. So guys, be careful.
Is that a Waldo? What I think? it is?
Yeah, what in the hell?
You see that?
Okay.
Okay.
Look at the
Hey, it's got a reservoir tip. Look at that.
Hey, yeah, Leisure Suit. I remember I was still a teenager when this game came out, and I had convinced me and my cousin had convinced my aunt to get us every single Sierra game. This was made by Sierra. Every Police Quest, King's Quest. We just couldn't. We were so close to getting her to get us Leisure Suit Larry, and she never flipped it back over. She flipped it back over. She said, "What the hell is this?" I said, "Damn it! All right, big as up."
No.
Abort,
Yep.
abort.
No. Yo, yeah.
Is that a balloon scissors? Is that what that is?
Whoa! Holy cow!
Jeff.
Jeff's a maniac.
Everybody knows that I'm a big text adventure game guy. So Zork could be Atari.
I played Zork.
I can't spell, so I hated these games. That's so bad to say, but yeah. Open the
Read the
mailbox,
leaflet.
reveals a leaflet. Read leaflet. You'd have to.
I
type.
always say this uses the most powerful MM2K. This is the most powerful graphics card you can
Graphics
ever
engine.
get. Your brain.
Yeah, true. Exactly. And that was the thing that we had back then. We didn't need 50-minute cutscenes. You know, we didn't need all that stuff. We let our imagination do the rest, and we just played the damn game. So
Yeah.
You didn't need it, or you didn't know you needed it. There is a difference.
Right, yeah.
Say, as a matter of fact, Fist of the North Star had no story, and I remember it till today.
No ending.
Yeah, left an impression. I thought I died. I swear. Like,
Did you try the?
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. It's okay.
I was going to say games like this, Jeff. I think people underappreciate it because it led to the Sierra games. Like, okay, we saw Leisure Suit Larry with the rubber pointer, but but the other Sierra games that were created off of this, like Police Quest, King's Quest, you know what I mean, off the Tandy 1000 system. It started off of this, and they just added visuals to that. You know what I mean? So those are games that if you can find the original retro versions of those games, I highly urge you to play them because they're really good.
Yeah, and you'll see where the progression has taken us.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know, it is very interesting to jump back. Like just as an example, Black Flag came out. Now I still love that game. It's still one of my favorite games of all time. But having about 8 years apart from me playing it when it originally came out, I can see some of the design flaws, some of the things that games do now that are way better decisions. You know, but I can still respect it for what it is. A fantastic game.
I played SWAT from Sierra. I was a huge fan of the SWAT from Sierra.
SWAT.
See, that's one I didn't play, Ray. I didn't even know that one was.
And that was, and I'm talking B. I played it on the most doo-doo PC back in the day, but it was really fun trying to figure out the different scenarios to break into the house and rescue people. It was awesome.
Now, I gotta look that up.
I remember Oregon Trail. I would get pretty far, but I'd usually catch dysentery and I'd die.
Yeah, everybody eventually gets dysentery and dies. It's what happens on the Oregon Trail.
Absolutely. All right, Jeff, you're up, sir.
Ray, were you talking about Rogue Squadron earlier?
Sure was.
Absolutely. Now, I have never played the 3D version.
Oh man,
never played the 3D version.
Was this one of the ones that did require the expansion pack? I think so, isn't it? Or used it, or at least utilized it.
The original Rogue Squadron utilized it, but didn't need it to be played. But it was recommended.
There was a box. I mean, it on the back. When you bought the game, you actually had it in a box. They had a set,
a
big box set where it had that.
I remember Rogue Squadron. This is a different one. This is 3D. But the original Rogue Squadron, you could type in a code called Farm Boy, and you could get the Millennium Falcon. And then you could hit a button on the controller, and you would fly out into the screen like a 3D area, kind of. It was real hard to control. I'd have to
you got
find
a Naboo
somebody
fighter?
So I got that. In my closet, I have the big box Star Wars, kind of like how it was with StarCraft.
Yeah.
With all the different, you had the characters and everything that I collected. Battlefront PC. But oh my god, look at this.
What the
Voodoo? What the hell?
I don't know what they're doing.
A Voodoo graphics card? What is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rogue Squadron 3D. I never played that one, but Rogue Squadron was one of my favorites on the 64.
I knew you were gonna sleep a Deep Nukem up in here.
Yeah, I gotta put my boy Duke in there. I think
who doesn't love a good Duke Nukem?
That 1997, I did pick up for my PlayStation Duke Nukem 3D.
Oh, you did? You did pick this title up?
I sure did.
It's such the cheesy one-liners all the time.
The pigs, man. I love shooting the pigs.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, like the enemy design was cool in this game.
Yeah.
Very, very Doom.
You remember going into the strip club and the strippers would be in there, and you had all the different hidden doors.
I just remember you could go up to the strippers and give them money, and he'd be like, "Shake it, baby."
Yeah. Didn't you use the urinal too?
Yeah.
Beginning of one of the games or something.
Oh my god! This is
I had a lot
another
of fun
game
playing these kinds.
I got sick playing too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I got sick playing. I
A
played
lot of
for
people
hours.
did with
I got
these
it.
early 3D shooter
Mhm.
games. My dad
Yeah.
got really sick playing these too.
Like Dark Forces. I'd get sick
Yep.
playing that one.
Oh,
That Star
Dark
Wars
Forces is
one.
so good.
Yeah, it is good.
Oh my god, I remember the theater scene.
Yeah, this is a porno theater.
Yes. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say that. I was
It
trying
was?
to say,
It
to say
was?
theater.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You go up to the film booth up there and you open it up, and that's what's playing on the screen.
Yeah.
I had this. I was not good.
Had to hide this from playing with my parents around because they would not be
I
okay.
was only 17 when I got this. I did not know what that was.
Oh, was this 97? So I would have been 13.
Really,
That's
we
why I
didn't
remember
have,
all
really,
this.
I grew up in Hamilton. We didn't have those in Hamilton.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
No, they just had snow.
All right, Duke Nukem. That was a good one.
And there we go. 2003. Are we getting out of retro? Is 2003 not retro when we're talking PlayStation 2 or 3?
You're
Or
riding,
You're 18
that
years
fine
ago.
line, Jeff.
If you
Yeah,
go
you
by
are.
the current consensus, like it's any 2 generations behind, right? So anything 360, PS3, Wii now is retro and behind,
Yeah.
technically.
Yeah.
Try to show him running around here for a minute.
Boy, they did.
Very weird.
If I remember, I think
Very
these ones based more off the books than the movies.
I believe they were. I don't think they followed the movies or were like a movie companion. You know what I mean?
Hey, look at those gargoyles.
Tell you what, that Lord of the Rings game we brought up earlier, though, that one was really good. It followed the movies and the lore.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
There's that new one coming for the PlayStation 5, I think, that everybody's like buzzing about. Like another Harry Potter game, I guess, but people are saying it looks really good.
Yeah, I thought you meant Lord of the Rings. I was getting really
Oh, no,
excited
no, no.
for a minute. I was like, really? But yeah, I seen there was a new Harry Potter that was going to be released here soon.
I'm really surprised we haven't seen anything from Lord of the Rings game-wise in freaking so long.
Yeah, the last thing I played that I fell in love with was Shadow of War. And if anybody likes shit-talking orcs,
Yeah.
get that game.
Well,
Yeah, I played it.
There's a game show, a Harry Potter game show on TV. I don't know what channel, but
A game show?
yes,
Holy
Yes.
cow.
Really?
yeah, it's coming out.
And I don't think I could have found this one, Jeff. I tried. Go ahead, though.
it's the I ran out of room on the tweet. It's actually a Linux version of Pong 3D, which is probably why you couldn't find it.
Gotcha.
But I
Yeah.
don't remember a 3D Pong, but it looked interesting.
First video game. I know we had a debate. Would you consider Pong
I
a
do.
game console?
Well, they had a specific Pong console.
Yes.
That would play just
So
Pong.
technically, yeah.
But the debate we had, Ray, was actually for that the original ColecoVision, I think, and it had the things you'd put over the TV.
Oh, the overlays, yeah.
Yeah, the overlays. Yes,
Yes.
yes. So it was like Pong, and then you'd put the overlays up, and it would change the game to whatever you wanted.
Yeah, you could have like hockey and stuff.
But it was
or-
connected to a console box.
Yeah,
Yes.
with two controllers that like
Yeah.
it was weird. Now that was what we were debating, if that was a game console or not.
Yeah. Well, that was the first console I played was Pong.
Hmm.
Pong.
Yeah.
I've never played I played Pong, the original or whatever, but I've never played this one.
I remember this is the PS2, PS1 version.
Yep. PS1.
Yeah, this was like
they're saying Pong.
Is it
Yeah.
Pong with an E?
It was like
What the hell is this shit?
I remember as a kid looking at it and they're like, Pong is back and better than ever.
Yeah.
See, man, that's what
Old Pong
Shit.
looks better than this.
Right.
For real.
Change the name, okay?
Have you guys tried those Pong tabletop arcade
Yes.
machines? Those are
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yes.
I've seen the old ones. I haven't ever got one and checked it out.
Yeah, the new
Like-
ones
like
they
people
actually
were
use
mentioning-
like an actual like bar in it and stuff and a ball, and it's like magnetized, but it's super cool.
Well, people were mentioning in the chat Vector X and some of the old 3-in-1 console systems that had the gun on it and all that stuff. There was a lot of those, man.
Kevin has it.
Oh, does he? The Telstar or whatever it's called? I think it's Telstar.
That's right. Yeah, it was like the triangular looking box thing, right? Yeah, it had a wheel on it and had the gun.
Yeah, and it had the triangle games as well.
Yeah, they go right on top or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring an image of that up real quick, just to show you, show everybody, give them a reference here. I also would like to thank each and every one of you for hanging out today and making the time to join the show. We certainly appreciate you guys, and it was fantastic learning more about your guys'
You remember that driving racing game that let you play Pong on load screens?
Pong on load screen? Oh, I know what you're talking about. The game itself would it was a load screen you played Pong on while it loaded.
I never had that one.
Dope. I like that. I like those types of deals.
That just makes me think of Blades of Steel, where you could play like Gradius in between periods.
Yep.
Oh, come on, bring up the picture. There we go. Okay, this here is the Telstar, and what is really interesting about this device is that it's got the steering wheel, it's got the gun, which actually is heavy like a real gun, and then you got your knobs and whatnot. But this is where you'd put your game. That's the game cartridge.
Dang.
This like triangle, it would snap down in it.
Thing looks like a monstrosity. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's got too much going on, man.
It sure does. Well, hey, we are at the end of the show. I'm going to go ahead and go around the room to let everybody say where to find them, what they're going to be up to. And I just want to thank you all again for joining us. Willie, where can people find you, man?
So I stream weekly on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Willie Lo. I have started a YouTube channel too. I'm starting to possibly start switching over to doing some YouTube stuff on there. Same thing as just YouTube/Willie Lo on there. But yeah, that's where you can find me most of the time.
Awesome, man. It was great to have you on.
Yeah, it was a whole lot of fun. Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Project Storm, sir. How about you?
Man, all right. You can find me right here on YouTube. Just type in Project Storm 4K, Project Storm Stadia, Project Storm GeForce Now, Project Storm 8K, whatever you want to type in, Project Storm, you'll find me, guys. And then on Twitter, you can find me at the Nephophiliac. That's where you can really get my attention on Twitter, because I'm on there every day.
Cool. Thank you for coming on the show.
No problem, man. I'm having a hell of a time, fellas.
All right, Jeffrey, what about you, sir?
Oh, what about MM2K?
Oh, yeah. Well, we're just going around.
Oh, you're just going around? Oh,
yeah, he's going this.
He's in my next order here.
Oh,
that's okay. I'm at Jeff Janak all over the place. I'm going to be streaming Mondays and Wednesdays, some Google Stadia stuff. I'm going to do some ad hoc as time permits around my parents and Christmas, some retro games. I may have to crank out Leisure Suit Larry, maybe some more. I do have Die Hard for the PlayStation 1 being December, and it's the greatest Christmas movie of all time. I think I need to crank it up and maybe play it a bit.
That is a fact. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. All right, MM2K, how about you, sir?
You can find me at MM2K videos on YouTube. You can also find me on Stadia Dosage with other content creators. We are back. We're up and running. We finally did the move. Thank you. Thank goodness it's over. And you can find me on Twitter at MM2K on Twitter. And don't forget, we got some Facebook groups out there too. PNTS Network and Stadia Dosage has some Facebook groups out there. So if you want to come and conversate, or if you want to come check out some of the great videos, some of that crispy 8K video from Project Storm or whatever, just come on over there, or go to pntsnetwork.com and check out all that great stuff there.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Thanks for joining the show, MM2K.
Thanks to our guests. This was great.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know it
Go
was
ahead,
hard
Rick.
to get Willie to line him up with his work schedule and family schedule. So him and I had been going back and forth trying to get him on. So thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for having me.
More than patient. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
All right, and then guys, I am Ray3473. I'm the gaming sideboard. Just Twitter, Ray3473. I'm always posting what I'm gonna be streaming. Tomorrow I took a week off from streaming, but I will be back Monday night. I'll be doing some Red Dead Online. The Bounty Boys are back. And that's on Stadia on my YouTube. Just look for the post. And then you can catch me also Rock Reveal with Rock and John Scar. And then also do Cloudburst with Rock and an awesome panel.
Are you doing Rock Reveal again?
Yes,
Brought
we
out of
are.
retirement.
Yes, but this time though, we're not just we're covering pretty much all the cloud platforms. We're not just going to talk about Stadia. We're going to talk about everything because there's all kinds of gamers out there. And then that's about it, man. I had a blast once again. Shout out to the wonderful guests. Had a great time. To you, SPG.
Right on. Well, as always, every other Sunday, you can find me here for another episode of Retro Rewind. Today has been fabulous. I want to thank all three of our amazing guests for sharing their stories with us today. But I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays if you happen to like video gameplay at 12 CST. So I would love to see you. And we have one more episode, guys, for season 1 of Retro Rewind, which will be coming up in 2 weeks. And we're going to do a look back at season 1 and probably have a whole bunch of people pop in to say hi. So I hope you guys are excited for that. And, just be careful. There's a pandemic going on out there, and be good to everyone. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one.
See ya.
See ya.
Peace.
Bye.
Retro.